So today has finally come. My assistant, my youngest daughter, is going to be doing most of the filming. But first, I just want to show you something that I did real quick here. The first thing we're doing is making our quick pickled red onion and cucumber. That's going to be a garnish and also a tasty treat to go along with everything else I'm making. Now today's menu is a big one. We're going to have tomahawk steaks. I bagged these up last night with all the seasonings. As you can see, there's 4 of them. We're having, let me move you on over here. We're having crabs, lobster tail, and there's a shit ton of crab somewhere. Oh, in the fridge where it should be, because these were frozen, so I'm thawing these. But the crab was not frozen. And then for sides, we're having my famous ranch homemade mashed potatoes and garlic, butter, and olive oil saturated or glazed Brussels sprouts and broccoli. And I'm trying to think, was there anything else? Oh, and I'm making like a crab, I don't want to call it crab dip because that's not what it is. It's like a crab and cheese stuffing that will go on top of the meat if you follow me over here. Unless I just stuck it in the fridge. Confused as I could ever be today. Sorry about that. I might have stuck it in the fridge. Let me see if I did or not. Yes, I think I did. I can't find anything right now. But at any rate, you see the lump crab meat. I showed that to you yesterday. But I also have some really great, there they are. We're going to use some of these seasonings. Roasting herb blend. We've got smoked goat cheese. And we've got some beehive butter hatch onion flavored cheese. These are going to be put into the crab meat along with a couple of other cheeses. You'll see the plating in the pans is going to be fabulous. I literally just got back from the store. So I'm going to get to doing that. But in a sec, I'm going to show you how to make something I've never made before. I just saw the recipe for this not too long ago with beer to make a Bloody Mary instead of vodka. So we're going to try that in just a second. And I'll be back shortly. First thing I'm going to do, though, in a minute, is hand my daughter the phone. I'm going to stop, and then we're going to restart because I need to line my pan first. We're doing what we call a backwards sear or a reverse sear. So normally, you sear your meat on the griddle first, and then you move it to the oven. When you do these, to make sure they get done through, but you still want them nice, pink, and juicy inside, you actually do the reverse. You line your pan with foil, and you also cover these with foil, and you put them on a low, slow cook at 250 degrees for 2 hours. So I'm going to do that process now, and she's going to film me while I do that. Or actually, she's probably going to film me once I've gotten the foil in there because it's not that exciting to watch all of that. And then we'll be back. All right. Hey, everyone. I'm sorry. I kind of forgot to clue y'all in. So you see the first 2. I can get about 2 of these in per pan. This is the mixture that was already on them last night, which consisted of seasonal, minced garlic, Fire Smoke Society for grillers, seasoning, parsley flakes, and minced garlic, the fresh hydrated kind. So what I'm doing now is putting some pesto that has olive oil in it. Then I'm also going to put just a little butter on these, and I'm going to get another sheet of foil and put it on the top. I'm not going to show you me doing this to all 4 because you get the point, okay? So you just want to make sure there's a nice flavor palette. You see what I did there? Now, if you follow me over here to my food processor, if you watch me cook, color is important to me, and so is seasoning. So, what we have here is, this is a pepper, and white onion mixture, a little bit of red sweet pepper and white onion just to get even more flavor in these as they cook. Again, they're going to end up being seared. I'm just building flavor, not flour. This is not going to be a sauce. This is just something to just ensure that we get a lot of seasoning that you can taste throughout the meat, because tomahawks are so big, it is hard to get flavor throughout them, and you even end up having to season them after they're done cooking, because most of your flavor is going to be on the outside of the meat. Let me see if I can show you how thick these are so you can understand why I say they're hard to season. Do you see how thick that is? That's one steak and it's that thick. So you're not going to be able to get a lot of seasoning in there, but we're going to do as much as we can to get it infused with as much as we can. And then when we're done seasoning and we've let it rest and we slice it, we're going to do that. I've got my meat thermometer ready. These are perfectly cooked in the inside when they're at a temperature of 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And at that point, you just throw a quick sear on them, because you want to turn them on their side on your griddle, which is underneath here, because you need to render off all this fat. You need to melt the fat now. All right? So I'll be back soon. Thank you. Hey, everyone. So here's the cocktail I was referring to. I don't even know what this is called. Like I said, just saw it on TV a few weeks ago. It's basically pretty much a Bloody Mary, only you're making it with beer. And I assume you can use whatever beer you like. But what I got was V8 spicy hot vegetable juice, some Louisiana hot sauce, Samuel Adams Oktoberfest, because after all, we're heading into fall. I've got 2 stalks of celery. I've got some fresh lemon and some small sliced cherry tomatoes. So let's see how this works. I guess you can add as much beer as is comfortable for you. Me personally, I'm a drinker, so. And normally if I wasn't holding the phone, I'd have tilted the glass so that this foam didn't happen. But since I'm filming myself at this part of the juncture today, yeah, we're going to wait for the foam to go down. You can also stick your finger in it, but I'm not doing that today. But as you can see, we got a little bit of that going on. All right, so now we're going to move over here, and we're going to grab, as soon as I can turn it around and grab it successfully with my hand, we're going to grab some of the V8, I don't know why I keep saying it like that, V8 spicy vegetable juice. You see it gets a nice red on it that some of you are probably familiar with when you're drinking a Bloody Mary. I like spicy, so that's why I'm making mine this way. And then we're just going to take just a couple of dabs of hot sauce. You make it as hot as you like. Again, I like spicy. If you want, you can get one more splash of beer to make sure you got enough alcohol in there. And you just want to mix all that up. Look at that. It's nice, right? Looking like a real Bloody Mary over here. I already cut a slit so we could garnish. But you can also squeeze some of your lemon. Sorry, not where I was supposed to be hand-wise. Squeeze some of your lemon in there. You want to put your celery stalk in. I like mine wide end up. And then, just to make it really pretty, sprinkle just a few tomatoes on there. And there you have whatever we call this version of a Bloody Mary that you make with beer. Everyone enjoy your football Sunday. So my daughter's about to start filming in a few minutes, but I just want to show you. So I usually buy pre-seasoned cast iron items when I buy them, but this was not pre-seasoned. So I've got it turned on. You can see my gas range underneath. You can feel the heat coming from it. And I just pre-seasoned it with some butter and some steak seasoning. And I'm about to take the tomahawks out of the oven. And then we're going to start searing them. Be back shortly. To sear them, you have to sear... Sorry, pan just fell. You have to sear them 2 to 3 minutes on each side. I'm probably going to go for 3 minutes on each side. And then you let them rest before you cut them for another 10 to 15 minutes just to make sure they're done all the way through. But you don't want them well done. You want them pink and like medium rare to rare, because that's how they're best served. All right, be back in a few minutes. so this is a special sauce, a garlic butter herb sauce that is made completely from scratch. Not going to give you the recipe because it's one of the saucings that we'll be selling in the 6 sauce flavors that I'm making for the company. So you have to buy it if you ever try it and love it, which I assure you will. But that's going to be what we put on the tomahawks once they're finished. And after we've sliced them, just to keep the meat nice and tender as we cook the rest of the meal. Because we are nowhere near done, let me tell you. I do not have enough space in my kitchen, so this is kind of awkward, but we're going to make it work as best we can. Put back some before you get hurt. Alright. So remember what I said. You cook your tomahawk on each side. Listen to that sizzle. You want to cook them on each side for exactly 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to throw away the foil because, of course, that was used in cooking it while it was in a raw process, which is the great thing about wanting your pan with foil. Alright? So we're going to, I don't know what I just said, but if I said 10 to 15 minutes, that's wrong. You let these cook for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Can you see how beautiful and thick these are? Look how tender. Again, the internal temperature when you're cooking these should have gotten to 120. Some people say to take them out before they're right there. I like to leave mine in until we're there. I think it's really up to you as the cook how you decide to do it. But I really wanted to make sure that they're done because they're pretty big. And it's important when you're using a griddler, and where is my hand towel? I happen to have had another breakfast grill that had a tray. This one did not come with a tray, and that's a good way to start a fire. So always try to make sure you have a griddle tray put on your stove. And these are primarily made for barbecue grills, so they don't think about things like that, but think about it for yourself so you don't burn your house down. So I wish you could smell this because these are some of the best smells right now in here that you could imagine. It smells so good. And once I'm done getting these together while they're resting, what I'll be doing is preparing the lobster, the shrimp, and the crab legs to go in. And we're going to steam boil them, but we're going to do it in the oven. We're going to create kind of a boiling system with foil again, just like we did here with this, only we're steaming. And the store, strangely enough, was out of Old Bay, for which I let them have it and explained I was from Maryland, and that was not acceptable to me. Not that they cared very much, I don't think. But yeah, so I got some seafood boiled up that they swear is like Old Bay, and it better be, or I'm going to be pissed. But yeah, this is going to be great. We'll come back in a few minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Just showing you how they're coming along. Isn't that beautiful? I still need to render down the fat on the sides, and as usual, I cannot find my tongue, so I'm burning the hell out my fingers. But you see what we're doing here. It's gonna be yum. I got 2 more of these to do this part of the process too, and then we're gonna let them sit, and I'm gonna get started on my seafood. I'm sorry, guys. I got carried away with cooking and forgot to show y'all the steps. So at any rate, there is a crap ton of shrimp underneath. These are the lobster tails. I have 2 more seafood items to make. One is kind of like a stuffing that'll go on top of the tomahawks. It's more like a bake. And then the other is the crab legs, which will be after this. And then I'm going to get to making my sides finally. I don't even know what time it is. Pardon that trash bag in the background. I got my sous chef, also videographer / youngest daughter, helping me out in the background. So that's what you hear. But I'm about to put butter on these and get them in, wrap them up with foil, and I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so I got the shrimp and the lobster in. Now we're going to go ahead and get these 4 pounds of crab legs in. I've got the tomahawks resting, covered in foil. I'm going to slice them neatly and get them ready for plating once everything else is done. The only 3 things I have left to make once the seafood is done is the crab stuffing and what was it? The crab stuffing, the mashed potatoes, which I'm going to start boiling potatoes for now, and the broccoli and Brussels sprouts. And then this will all come together and you'll get to see all the trays. Thanks. Hey, sorry guys. Again, cooking too fast. I'm usually good at making sure I show y'all all the stuff I didn't this time. My bad. So here are all the crab legs. They're in there. You can see all the lovely seasonings on them and the butter. The brine, if you will, the bottom that's going to steam them is apple cider vinegar and the Zatarain's crab and shrimp boil, only because they were out of other things that me as a Maryland girl would normally have used. So we're going to cover these up, and we're probably going to cook this, the shrimp and the lobster, for anywhere to 20 to 30 minutes because of the way I'm doing it. So we'll be back and check on them, and everything should have a nice, firm, white texture and be a pretty, gorgeous coral red on the outside when they're done. And then if you look up here, we're getting our potatoes boiling to make our ranch mash and potatoes next. Be back soon. Just wanted to show you this real quick. I've got it prepped to go in the oven. The top pieces you see are a bar of this smoked goat cheese. God, it tastes so good. Y'all can't imagine it. And it's mixed with 3 different cheddars. There's a little milk in there to create the sauce. I'm going to put a little bit of butter on it now. And then when this other seafood comes out, this will go in. This is going to be a stuffing that can be served on top of the steak, beside the steak, wherever your guest wants it. It can even be put on the mashed potatoes. Be back. And then, you know, we just have to get done with the Brussels sprouts and the Brussels sprouts, the slicing and presenting of all the dishes and the sauces, and we'll be ready to go. So I anticipate this is going to be like another hour and a half. All right. Just wanted to show you guys this. The ranch smashed, that's important to remember. Not completely mashed potatoes with skin still in are complete. You're going to wrap these up and wait now till everything else is done. And dear God, I just tasted them. It is delicious. Yee. One thing you might want to do, just for some decor, just give it a little parsley. You see? And voila, it makes it so pretty. All right. So I want you to see this. These are the tomahawks. They've been cut now. Look at all that beautiful meat. And for any of you who think, oh my God, it's rare. It's supposed to be served medium rare to rare. It's sort of like filet mignon in that you cannot overcook this or else it will be terrible and you'll have to throw the whole thing away. And this is not a cheap hunk of meat. It is delicious. The flavor got all the way through, and it's just how I like my steak. You know, like I said, visually it might be something for you to get used to, but actually they found that eating well done meat is cancer causing, and eating rare meat is better for you. And it's on a bed of my ranch mashed potatoes. The other 2 are right here, just so you can see them. But we won't need to eat these today, but they did need to be cooked today so they wouldn't go bad. But yeah, I'm not cooking those today. But that's what they look like when they're whole before they're cut. All right, I'll be back. Push the button. Just wanted you to see the final plating of our tray here. This is our Tomahawk Steak, all ready to be served. It's got a few leaves of cilantro just for color, but you can eat them too. And then it's got the A1 garlic butter sauce with garlic and pesto, and it's got a few drizzles of fresh avocado salsa. And this is all served on a bed of ranch potato smash. We've got the Brussels sprouts and the broccoli drizzled in a roasted garlic aioli sauce. Delicious. This was the smoked goat cheese and 3 cheddar crab, and I just want to show you that. This is going to be stuffing. You can put it on your steak, you can put it on your potatoes, you can put it on whatever you like. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous, right? The little brown getting around the edges. And you can let it seep in its heat a little more to finish cooking the rest of the goat cheese all the way through even more if you like. Okay, so my feedback on this supposed version of Old Bay. Not good. It is way more spicy than Old Bay ever would be. And we got a shit ton of seafood that we are now going to try to power through that is burning the shit out of our mouths. It's good, but it's just too spicy for my taste palette, and I like hot. Maybe by tomorrow after it's cooled down and sat overnight, it'll be a little cooler on the palate. I find that happens a lot with things. But these are the crab legs. And then, one second, because I'm getting tired, so I'm just going to show you. Well, actually, I'm going to come back because I need to organize the lobster tails better to get a good pick. And if you're wondering why I also have bags and foil, because for some reason here in Georgia, no matter how clean you keep your house and how often you take out trash, you see the occasional fruit fly. And I do not want any fruit flies anywhere around my food. So this is what I do till I put it in the fridge. I like triple wrap everything. But see, you don't see them in the air. There's no vermin or bugs running around. Just the occasional tiniest little fruit fly that you can barely see. It's nuts. All right, I'll be back. All right. And so here we have it. The lobster and the shrimp. Normally, my stuff's not that submerged in the water either. But again, tried this weird crab boil stuff they sold me at the store because they were out of Old Bay. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't repeat it. It's too spicy. Way too spicy. Also would not repeat frozen lobster tail. I prefer fresh. I don't like how the frozen cooks. It's a bit different. So I know personally for me, next time I want to cook lobster tails, they'll be fresh or I won't be cooking them. But yeah, just so you get the visual, all of it's good. And again, it's according to your taste palette. There could be someone else out here who would love the taste of their tongue burning off. Not so much me though. And there you have it. I'm going to give her a spin. The steak on top of the mash, the Brussels sprouts, broccoli, some lemon, some quick pickled cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, and red onion, the crab meat bake. It's going to be delicious, and a little avocado salsa drizzle.